Oh, we haven't received. Do what I want to do. Dennis. Every motherfucker. Hey, hold on, let's go get it. On me. Hey, I like that shit. That shit go. That's hard. I like that song. Hey, man, I just feel good. Today is the day. I feel good to be able to say that I'm gonna do something and actually accomplish what I said I was gonna do. This is episode number 1. All nonsense. The topic is going to be Reverence. Episode number 1 is chivalry dead? We're going to answer that question equivocally. Is chivalry dead? What is chivalry? I want to talk about the actual history of chivalry and how it came about and why currently a lot of people feel like chivalry is dead. In the context of it all being relationships, whether it's just the fundamentals of life, it all contradicts itself. No one has came up with any definitive answers upon how we are here or why we are here. So that is, the foundation of this new podcast I put together is diving into the controversial topics that we haven't been able to figure out. And the first one we are addressing is reverence. So let's hop right into it without any further ado.
The only thing in our society that bothers me the most is the way that men and women don't get along no more. That's really what's bugging me about it. Men and women just don't get along. Like I hear women say this all the time. I know a lot of you sisters be like, chivalry is dead. Don't you? Don't y'all feel that way? Like men aren't gentlemen anymore? That's right. Chivalry is dead. And women killed it.
Facts. Chivalry is dead, and I feel like women killed it. I feel like women were a substantial reasoning on why chivalry currently does not exist, whether that be the feminist movement and ushering in equality over equity. I personally believe women are one of the actual reasons why chivalry currently doesn't exist. But before we get to that, we have to ask ourselves, what is chivalry? Why did chivalry actually come about? So we're going to play this clip right here real quick. And this clip is going to give us a background history on exactly what, hold up, that's the wrong one. Not that clip. Hold up. This clip. No, not that clip. Where is my other clip? Hold on one sec. I got the clip right here. Military studies. That's not it. That's not it. Okay, hold on. We streaming. Let's do him like this. And let's find this video real quick. Hold on, y'all. We lagging. So basically, this video is going to be able to explain to us the history of chivalry and how it came about. I think a lot of the problem with the history of chivalry. Hold on one sec. Exit. The history of chivalry. Hold on one sec. Here we go. Okay, bet. I think I found what I'm looking for. Here we go. Okay. Now, hold on one sec. Okay, this video is going to give us a equivocal definition of chivalry. I think one of the main reasons why chivalry is dying is because we don't know its origin, why it exists, the reasons and why we practice it. So here we go. We're going to watch this quick little video on what chivalry is.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of chivalry, let's go over some history. Chivalry started in France in the 12th century. Originally, the word referred to being like a knight. A knight was chivalrous in the same way that an artist is artistic. It was an immutable characteristic. If you're curious about the life of a knight in the medieval era, watch my older video here. But starting in the mid-12th century, the word started to mean the ideal characteristics of a knight.
Let me pause. Okay, mute myself. Okay, so contrary to popular belief, chivalry, initially its origin had individuals interact in battle, in military. So chivalry was brought about as an ethical code to military engagement. But we're going to let the video continue to rock.
A knight was no longer chivalrous because of his horse and his lance. Instead, he was expected to present a certain set of virtues, like honor, honesty, and generosity. You see, knights really didn't have a good reputation before the introduction of the chivalric code. They were basically hired thugs who, while highly trained and heavily armed, had a penchant for violence and destruction. We don't know exactly why the conception of chivalry changed to include an ethical code, but it was probably, at least in part, due to the influence of the church. The clergy of the time insisted that a true knight was one who not only fought for and was loyal to their lord, but was a good Christian.
Okay, bet. So that's going to be their history of it. They believe that it had a lot to do with the influence of the church and the church going to these people and saying there needs to be some type of code of ethic. I believe personally, compounding onto that, I believe chivalry came about based off of the historical reference points that they bring about. It was a traumatic time in which there was a lot of war. There was a lot of battles. There was a lot of bloodshed. And in those situations, it is required a certain type of respect. Like, there is a code of ethic when it comes to battle. And I can't say particularly me, I have been in war, but I have been in militant situations, and understanding that when there's a situation where there's a lot of bloodshed and there's a lot of actual, hold up, let me share my screen again. There's a lot of references to this. There's actually men's morale and respect, grotesque battlefield experience, force reflects respect for life. But there's actual case studies based off of this ideology that during battle, it implements a certain type of trigger. It triggers a certain type of response that then requires you as a person to react. So say, for instance, when you are going through something extremely traumatic, the way that you envision life may be extremely profound. So say, for instance, you go through something like a heart attack or something, a near-death experience. When you exceed the triumphs and troubles that you went through in life, then after that, hold on, this nigga is tweaking. Bro, don't fuck around. Don't fuck around. What you doing? Dude, why are you so loud? Okay. When you actually get through those situations, you see life through a different lens. You see the trees, they're more greener. You see the water, it tastes better. Everything is through a different lens because of the way that you experience life in that traumatic situation. So my reference to that would be, back. We really live. I had to get my cat the fuck out of here. He's over there playing in the bowl. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Being a family man is, I've come to realize, is very unpredictable. It's hard to say I'm gonna do something and it turned out a certain type of way you want it to be, and it's not a bad thing in all reality. It changes me because in mind, like I was just talking about, in traumatic situations, they change you. They give you a different perspective. So in my traumatic situations in life, I've realized that everything is not in your control, and it's okay for everything to not be in your control at times. But back to the topic at hand, we're talking about chivalry and its origin and how in war, it causes a certain amount of trauma. In that trauma, there is a understandable relatability amongst warriors when they fight against each other, almost like when you play a chess game. You sit down with another individual, I'm sharing my brain with you. It is not ethically right for me to then be playing chess with you and screaming, or playing chess with you and doing things that can cause you to not be able to think. The same thing is so in war. It's not ethical to break treaties. It's unethical to, say that you are not going to honor a ceasefire, or you're not going to honor the political standards that are required within war. So the same thing occurs in chivalry, and that's how it was brought about. And the crazy thing about it is, I think, in my personal opinion, chivalry has ceased to exist, and chivalry is dying and is dead because it has no equal respect. It's not understood to women because it's nothing that they can relate to it. There's nothing relatable to it. And I think it's not respected amongst men because there is nothing relatable to it. Men feel as if we offer you chivalry and in return we get nothing. Like, there's a code of ethic in which men are taught to treat women, but there's no code of ethic for women to treat men. There's no code of ethic that says you shouldn't hit him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even within feminism, they teach I can do anything you can do. Women are strong, but in that same aspect, they don't teach that. Although you are strong, we're not saying you can be strong. But what we are saying is that naturally we are built stronger than you, so we are going to be more um we're going to be more reserved to violence. So please don't be violent against us. Like there should be that equal understanding. And I don't think there is. And that's why chivalry is dying. And that's why I believe it is a necessity for us to have reverence. Reverence in everything you do. Reverence in living, reverence in speaking, reverence in your ethics, and reverence in your code and conduct in which you act. There should be reverence in the thought of the things that you wear, say. Reverence should be associated with, well, I don't think I'm going to wear this with my ass out because it could be enticing and it could be physically unappeasing to children and things of that nature. Reverence, in my definition of something that I am trying to token to be a conductor of chivalry, means the respect for men, the thought for men, the thought of having respect for men. It's always been thought that when a man is around a woman, he should always hold the door for her. He should always stand on the opposite side of, have her stand on the opposite side of traffic. They even go so far to say is there's a puddle, you should take your jacket and put it out so she doesn't get wet. And what is the equal respect? What is the equal respect for men for men as a collective that women honor? I think it's a necessity. It's almost like in the 48 Laws of Power where they say people will despise you if you give them things they don't deserve. And I think that's what is taking place in our time frame. I believe women feel as if, well, I don't think they even feel as if, I think subconsciously they've been given things that they don't necessarily deserve. And they know they don't because there's no equal respect. And that's why they call for, like, even in feminism, they don't like to be coddled. And the reason why you don't like for a man to open the door for you is because you don't have an equal return. So it's understood. And like I was saying in the 48 Laws of Power, it speaks of like taking your friends and making your friends, like say for instance, you get a business and you take your friend and make them the CEO for no fucking reason because they're your friend. They know you did that because they're your friend. And they may like it at that time, but eventually they'll despise you. And I think that's what women as a whole have done. I think we've given them things that have not been deserved and have not been equal upon the entire scale, like where they speak of this equality and in things like sports. I think we should give it to them. I think there shouldn't be women's basketball. I think it should be just basketball. I think we should allow nature to take course and give everything asked upon that aspect of equality and look at them as equal, because there's no point in pushing against waves. You know, this thought process of us all being equal is something that is a wave, and to push against it is, it's not necessary. I think going with it and allowing it to happen and letting things plan out the way they ought to is the right way to go about it. I got another clip that I want to play. Let me see, where is this clip? And this is a perspective of feminism. Hold up, is this the clip? That's not the clip. This is the clip right here. No, that's not it. I really got to blow this up. I need some thicker. Damn. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Here's the clip. Okay, I like this clip right here because she speaks of. Hold up, let me pause it. Of skip that. Let me pause. Add this to the stream. Hold on one second. Share screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, bet. Let me make this the big one.
Ladies, has anything like this ever happened to you? Watch.
It's open. It's open.
I don't go out on dates with guys who don't open the door for me.
Really?
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, man.
No, he didn't.
Well, according to a recent survey by Match.com, 73% of women believe that chivalry is dead. And according to one of our next guests, she explains in her new op-ed, it's because women killed it. Suzanne Venker is a columnist and an author of The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage. And joining her to discuss is Wendy Acefo, a professor at Johns Hopkins University and a Democratic strategist. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Good morning.
Okay, so Suzanne, you wrote this op-ed. Wendy, I know you've read it. I've read it, and you compare a telegram that was sent to a woman right before she got married to a Facebook video. The first one I want to read is back in the day, back in 1954. Your friend, her mother just recently died. Your friend was going through a memorabilia. She finds this telegram, and it says, "This is the husband writing it to his soon-to-be wife. Darling, I I'll be waiting for you at 8 with a lifetime of expectancy. My heart will become the aisle. May God with him. Thank you for becoming my wife. My love forever yours, Henry." Then several days later, Suzanne, you saw on Facebook this video where this person was saying chivalry is harmful to both men and women because it reinforces this idea that women need to be helped or saved by a stronger man, and it takes away a woman's agency. So you saw these two contrasts and you decided to write the op-ed. Explain that a little for us.
Sure. So it just struck me as just, wow. I mean, the stark contrast between this beautiful letter that really moved me to seeing this message from this.
Waiting for you at 8 with a lifetime of expectancy. My heart will be coming with you down the aisle. May God be with us tonight as we pray we will always be with him. Thank you for becoming my wife. My love forever yours, Henry. Then several days later, Suzanne, you saw on Facebook this video where this person was saying chivalry is harmful to both men and women because it reinforces this idea that women need to be helped or saved by a stronger man, and it takes away a woman's agency.
Excuse my lagging. It is add myself to the screen. Okay, bet. Excuse my lagging. So you heard her. She said chivalry is harmful to men and women because it hurts women's agency, meaning it hurts women's opportunity of choice. She's saying that once again because she feels coddled. She feels like chivalry is something given to women because women do not understand it, because chivalry is developed amongst men. Chivalry was a social standard men had for each other in battle that then rippled into everyday life. After the men left battle, they then said, how can we have social standards amongst each other, but then not reciprocate social standards amongst the women we say we love? Women then in return, decades later, say we don't want chivalry because we feel coddled. We feel like you guys have given us something we don't deserve. I agree. I feel like this is where reverence comes in. This is where the mutual understanding needs to be given. We need to be given the respect that we desire, and you will be able to accept the chivalry that we give you equally amongst each other. It won't look as if we're looking at you as something as less than, because you're also required to respect us in a certain aspect as a social standard and a collective idea. That's what I believe we're missing. And that's why I think chivalry is dying. I don't think it's dead. I definitely think it's dying. I think it needs them damn what you call it, CPR, the damn resuscitation shit. And I honestly believe that's what reverence is. I believe it is the reviser. I believe it can usher back in a new idea of chivalry. and what it means to be chivalrous. We're not looking to coddle you. We're looking to have mutual respect, because that's what it was made for. It was made amongst men during battle to have mutual respect. And that's what we wanted it to be for women. We don't look at you as less than. We don't look at you as being a weaker vessel. We look at you as women. And we look at you as an individual who deserves the same amount of respect we generate towards other men. And I believe that's where the disconnect is. And I think that's why chivalry is dying. I don't think it's dead yet, but I think we can revive it with a mutual understanding of reverence. And that's why I thought it would be a great addition to the English language. I think I should petition actually to get reverence defined, because it would definitely be a good addition to the understanding of what it means to have respect. Like, we can't say that we're chivalrous towards women and we respect them, and we don't equally demand a social type of respect as a collective. I agree. I'm gonna let the rest of this video rock out though.
So you saw these two contrasts and you decided to write the op. Explain that a little for us.
Sure. So it just struck me as just, wow. I mean, the stark contrast between this beautiful letter that really moved me to seeing this message from this woman basically selling the same tired message that men have been hearing for decades, which is, I can do it by myself. I'm strong enough. You don't need to hold the door open for me. You don't need to pay my way. You don't need to, basically anything that's sort of traditionally male and female in terms of the courtship is just gone. And after so many years of hearing that, my argument is that men have effectively said, okay, well, you said you don't want it, so I guess I'm not supposed to do it. And if I do it, then you're going to be insulted. So they're really lost and confused about what it is that women want. And I think women are just as confused because they've been sold this message that.
Did you hear what she said? I totally agree. We're both confused because something was given to someone that didn't deserve it. In order for you to get something, whether that be a social standard, whether that be a right, whether that be a religion, whatever, you have to earn it, because if you don't earn it, you won't understand the process that it requires to keep it and to maintain it. And in order to maintain chivalry, in order for it not to look like we're coddling you, for it not to look like we think you are weaker than us, you have to have a mutual respect towards us. Reverence. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing repetitively, or am I? Let me let this video keep going. Hold up.
That chivalry is bad or somehow destructive to women, when of course it's not at all. And so we have a problem.
Wendy, what do you think? Are we to blame, women?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women kill chivalry. Whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved the conversation of what it means to be a woman in today's society. And what that means is, you know, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We're not, you know, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that. But we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things. So
why is it always, it is crazy to me how the Caucasian lady always has this wider perspective of what could be and what it is, and it's always the African American's perspective. We're doing it all. Listen, ladies, I am making it a point to be more calmer in my speech and how I talk and my delivery, but you guys got to do the same thing. And you really have to take into perspective the things that you say. I'm going to replay what she just said, but it offended me to my core. And if it didn't offend you, I don't understand what it is you're listening to. Hold on. Let me let her go.
And what that means is, you know, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We are not the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that. But we are getting our
We're doing it all. Listen. Okay, let me go back. I'm gonna let the whole thing go.
That chivalry is bad or somehow destructive to women, when of course it's not at all. And so we have a problem.
Wendy, what do you think? Are we to blame, women?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women kill chivalry. Whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved.
Was Cardi B and Beyonce. Whether you look at, and this is where, and once again, I'm trying to be relaxed, trying to be calm, cool, and collective, and offer a objective perspective that's not disrespectful. Although I feel as if I've just been disrespected as a man, not even just as a man, but as a black man, definitely this being a black woman. She said, if you look at Beyonce, Cardi B and those are your examples? Cardi B and Beyonce. Lord have mercy. Who is this lady? I'm really about to.
Society. And what that means is, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We are not, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that. But we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things. So chivalry is not dead in the essence of we don't want men to open doors for us. But what we are saying is, you have to handle us, and you have to handle our full-time job as well.
Yeah, you make a good point in this op-ed, Suzanne. You talk about
She definitely doesn't. She definitely doesn't make a good point. You don't come to any situation looking for some form of understanding or reasoning disingenuine, because you started off wrong. You talked about we're not the mothers of our past. No, you're not. You're definitely not the mothers of the past. Because the mothers of the past actually upheld the community. They actually cared. They actually nurtured. They weren't out gyrating and thought and doing everything under the sun other than being a mother. So I agree with you there. You're not the mothers of the past. And you speak of people such as Cardi B. Are you serious? Cardi B? Like, that's the role model that you want to glamorize? Beyonce? Come on, like it's at this point it's comical. African American woman is comical. Who is this chick? Comical.
how it's not that we can't open our own doors. It's not that we can't pay for our own food, but you say that does it show a sign of respect, or like why is it important to let a woman do those things?
Right. So what's been lost in this whole, 40-year experiment, really, or progress, however you want to define it, is the yin and yang, or the dance between women and men. And men and women now are completely confused and lost about who's supposed to do what.
Just listen to the different perspectives. Listen to how one is extremely disingenuous. And one is saying both men and women, this dance we have been doing with each other, we're totally lost. I agree with her, and I can relate, and I can listen. Listen, my beautiful black women. Especially, and it's not all, because literally it's I don't know who this is, but I definitely, before we get off here, we're going to find out who this chick is. But this seems to be some propaganda type Democratic rhetoric that has been fed to our community for years. Whoever this woman is, it's crazy.
Who wants what, and what women specifically are confused about is men, and how that is in their DNA to provide and protect women. That is who they are. That is their identity. And we've essentially ripped it out of them. And when they become unmoored, I mean, if you don't let them do what's in them to do, you're going to disrupt that dance. And so what I'm trying to say is, look, masculinity and
I don't agree. I don't agree with what she's saying, but I agree with her perspective and what she's saying. I don't agree that it's men's. She tried to make it seem like it's men's purpose to provide and protect. It's not. It's definitely not. It's not a man's purpose to provide and protect. It's a part of it, but it's not your indefinite purpose to provide and protect. To say that is crazy. What about the men that don't have children? What about the men that don't want to reprocreate? What about the men that can't reprocreate? It's not their duty to provide and protect. Not in all aspects. And I think everybody just has this clear blanketed understanding of everything, and there's nuances and things. Like everything doesn't fit everything. You can't say that for every situation. I don't agree.
Femininity are wonderful things in and of themselves. And when they work in tandem, sparks fly. I mean, it's awesome, but we're not allowing that to happen because we are infused with this message about equality, which this idea that men and women are the same when they are not. And so that gesture of holding the door open, I was just using as one example, is not men trying to oppress women. It's they want to please them. They want to take care of them. They want to show them honor, really. And we knew this in the past. Everybody knew this. And this has gotten completely lost in the last 40 years. You can see that in that telegram, how deeply that was felt and understood. And women today want that. You read that telegram, who would not want that, right? Yeah, but how are we going to get there if we, I mean, it's just, Wendy, we've got to get back to understanding.
Wendy, do you think if we're all, I've heard it said that we are.
Now, her name's Wendy. I don't know who the fuck she is. Excuse my language. I don't know who she is, but she is making my genitalia itch. I don't know exactly what she's going to say, but I can almost guarantee it's going to be something negative. Now, although I don't entirely agree with what the other lady said, she was stating that she believes it's men's purpose to provide and protect, etc., all that, to an extent. It's not all men's purpose. I understand the premise of what she was trying to say. Now, let's listen to what Wendy is going to say. This is going to be interesting. I promise you it's going to be something obscene.
Created the same. I mean, we are both equally as important, but created differently in our needs and our wants. Right. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that to some extent. And as a wife and as a mother of 2 little boys, I believe that the strength of a woman is also what makes men respect us even more. We are not necessarily damsels in distress here. We can open doors for ourselves. We can do things for ourselves. And we welcome men to also open doors for us as well. But it's okay for a woman to be strong. It's okay for a woman to be independent. That in no way negates a man's masculinity at all.
All right, ladies. Thank you.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay. Wendy, Suzanne, great to see you. We'll just have you back. We'll continue the conversation later.
Okay.
Thanks.
Wasn't that bad. I stand corrected. But the things she said initially were so egregious. It was like, Lord have mercy. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't even understand. You got to realize what you're saying and how someone is going to take what you're saying. To say we're not the women, you're not. But to say that is not a motherfucking flex, baby. Excuse me. That's not a flex, man. It's not a flex to say we're not the women of the past. Because the women of the past was killing it. They kept their families together. They actually were women. They weren't leaving. They weren't having the least marriage rates. They were actually getting chose. They were actually being taken care of. They weren't out having to work. A lot of people make it seem like this autonomy that you asked for is wanted all the way across the board. Like, if you want to go work, baby, go work. But don't make it seem like all women do, because all women don't. But I appreciate y'all. This is just episode 1 of a monstrous of episodes and ideologies and thought process and things that we're going to get into. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Stay true to what y'all do. And at the end of the day, if you don't stay true to